What's up, YouTube? This is James coming back at you with another informative video. Hope everybody's doing well out there on this beautiful Friday. I'm doing good myself. Shabbat Shalom to all the brothers and sisters in recognition to observing this day, to worshiping the Most High. Sundown this evening to sundown tomorrow evening. Let's get some worship and praises in, people. It's time for us to re-gravitate back to our power. All right. Shout out to the sister Carissa for sending me this particular story right here. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it, sister. Hey, not more than a week ago, this brother right here that you see was found hanging, in Palmdale, California, downtown, somewhere in a park or what have you. Okay, and law enforcement there, whatever, claim is wrote it off as a suicide. But unbeknownst to me, I found out, basically, and shout out to Annette for hipping me to that, that it was another young man that was found hung as well within a month's time before Robert Fuller here. His name was Malcolm Marsh. Yeah, he was found, the same way, and they also wrote his, murder, his hanging off as a suicide. Okay. These particular low kernel forms of life, because I mean, I won't defile an animal's, right to exist by even referring to them as such, but low kernel forms of life. You understand? I mean, have a bloodlust, that they're acting out just like they always have throughout history, with our people. And what they like to do is this little lynching shit, real lynching. Okay, now we actually see the hanging people. Okay, calling it lynching, and they like to do this near like downtown county square bullshit. If you go back in history, a lot of the lynchings took place, in the county square, okay, like downtown. But this time, like I was saying earlier on, his brother, I think his name was Tehran. Well, we'll get into it. We'll see his name. His half brother. It says here, deputies kill half-brother of black man found hanged in park after they say he opened fire on them. All right. Any excuse will do. Here, Rosamond, California, the half-brother of a black man found hanged in a Southern California park was killed by Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputies Wednesday after they say he opened fire on them. The shots were fired shortly after 4:30 p.m. in the Kern County community of Rosamond, just north of Los Angeles County border, in the Antelope Valley. Sheriff's deputy officials said it's 80 miles north of downtown Los Angeles. Detectives with the sheriff's major crime unit were tracking a man. Ooh, tracking. Listen at that. A man who was wanted for kidnapping, spousal assault, and assault with a deadly weapon. But when they tried to stop his car, he opened fire. Well, he opened the door and began shooting, authorities said. Deputies shot and killed the man. A woman in the car was wounded in the chest and was taken to a hospital with injuries that were now life-threatening, while a 7-year-old girl in the car wasn't hurt, sheriff's office said. All right. Well, sheriff's office say a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? And hey, at this point in this country, in this time, hey, I don't believe a fucking thing that they say until I see proof. And that's all there is to it. But to continue, the woman in the car wasn't the accuser in the spousal assault case, authorities said. The man was identified as Tehran Jamal Boone. Disturbance. I tell you, people come at the wrong time. But back to what I was saying. The man was identified as Teron Jamal Boone by an attorney representing the family of Robert Fuller, a 24-year-old man who was found hanging from a tree in Palmdale last week. Officials say the death appeared to be a suicide, but family members have disputed that. And of course they would. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, ain't that much suicide in the world. I've hardly ever seen black people hang themselves. You know what I mean? That's something that a lot of unmelanated people are known for doing. They hang themselves. You know what I mean? But we don't hardly do shit like that. But to continue here, it says at this time, until we receive all of the information, the family and their legal team doesn't have any further comment on this incident. The family respectfully asks that their privacy be respected, Attorney Jamon Hicks said in a statement. Boone had been charged Tuesday in Los Angeles County Superior Court with assault with a deadly weapon, false imprisonment, domestic violence, and criminal threats. Fuller's body was discovered last week in a park near Palmdale City Hall. An autopsy was conducted last Friday, and the county medical examiner coroner's office said he appeared to have died by suicide. Like you can tell that shit. Y'all wrote that shit off before he even had the autopsy. You see what I mean? You said that. This is bullshit, you know? The finding prompted an outcry by his family, who believed he wasn't suicidal, and community members who called for an independent investigation and autopsy. More than 1,000 people turned out for a protest and memorial Saturday around the tree where Fuller's body was found. This is ugly. This is ugly, you know. And here you see some signs that people got, you know, and they say was lynched. All right, justice for Robert Fuller and what have you. As you know, the same kind of stuff we've been seeing plagued with in this country, and even more so, especially since coronavirus. Sometimes I wonder if they're competing with that disease. But anyway, the police, that is, because they got something to do with this shit. This far right, whatever, bullshit boogaloo organization, which is actually a branch off of the Klansmen. They're riding around and they're doing a lot of this shit. They grouping up. Black men, they grouping up, you know, and they're doing a lot of shit. They're looking for people, you know, black men, black women, even children, that they can do things like this too. You know, we're gonna have to really, really start not only, well, first of all, repent to the Most High, so that way He can give us the power and the advantage over our enemies, but then start assembling, you know, and patrolling our neighborhoods and patrolling places, you know. And when you see these white service vans, you know, coming around the hood, or black service van, whatever, we see these, we want to keep an eye on them and be prepared to do what we can do, you know, to them as such if they get out of line, if you know what I mean. In conclusion, here it says Fuller's family has announced plans for an independent investigation and to have a private autopsy conducted. The station says, adding that the California Attorney General Office and FBI are both monitoring the case. The city of Palmdale issues a statement supporting an independent inquiry. Federal authorities, including the Civil Rights Division of the U.S. Department of Justice, said they will review local investigations into the hanging deaths of Fuller and Malcolm Harsh, a 38-year-old homeless black man, that is, who was found hanging from a tree on May 31st in Victorville, a desert city in San Bernardino, California, east of Palmdale. Local authorities have said there is no evidence of foul play, here we go, in either death. But sheriffs have pledged to continue to investigate. Yeah, it's a good thing, to hire independent, contract as far as conducting autopsies or whatever, because just like the guy, the medical examiner who did the autopsy on George Floyd's body, you know what I mean? Try to say, well, he didn't try to say, no, he did say it. That George Floyd basically died from COVID-19 and pre-existing existing health conditions or whatever, and try to get it off as though, um, well, he didn't die from the knee placed to the back of his neck. And then well, we seen what the man died from. This is how stupid these dumbass lowlifes are, and he should have his license revoked for even getting up there telling a lie for Derek Chauvin. You see, but see his George Floyd's family, hired their independent medical examiner, and he ruled in the favor of what the people saw in the first place. Derek Chauvin was the reason why George Floyd suffocated or asphyxiated. He died from asphyxiation due to the knee to the back of the neck. All right, that's what he died from. You see, that's what it was. See, they all together on this shit right here. They doing all their evil together. You understand? But it's time for us to stand up and put a stop to this shit. But what we do, we're gonna have to put the Most High first. See, when you put Him first, that's when you be successful. At your whatever you're trying to do. You be successful. You want success. But without the Most High, in this and being put in first, well, then you're going to fail. Anytime Israel, in the biblical times, well, we still in the biblical times. It was just the present day of biblical times, but in a long time ago, biblical day, that the Bible speak of, anytime Israel went to war with their enemy and they put the Most High first and they consulted with the Most High, they were victorious. But anytime that they didn't, guess what? It wasn't so victorious. That's just the way it works, We can't continue to leave the Most High out. The white man, his laws, his little decrees, his system, he's going to violate all of his decrees that he writes. I don't give a damn what he says, or what have you. He's not going to stand by it, But you can rest assured, if you put the Most High, and charge Him to His word, you can rest assured that's what it's going to be. He will deliver you. See, it's time for us to put our faith, towards the Most High and gravitate back to our power. See, and we can make, His coming that much more faster. Now, a lot of us that do that are the remnant. We're going to be saved. But the ones that don't want to do it, all the rest, I'm talking about our people that want to be stiff-necked and don't want to listen, you are going to be of the 2/3. That's just basically, you're going to basically burn up with your enemy that's been oppressing you. That's basically what it boils down to, But y'all tell me what y'all think about this story right here. I hate to keep doing these kind of stories, but nevertheless, the word has to be put out. I'm interested in hearing y'all thoughts, views, and opinions on the story. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Please remember, people, to live your life as though we are being watched. Simply because we are. This is James, and I'm out. Peace.